Hi, everyone. I'm retired meteorologist Pat Prokop, and today is Sunday, August the 3rd. And wow, we have been getting a boatload of rain across portions of Chatham County, Bryan County, and Beaufort County, with also moderate to heavy rains further to the south in Wayne County, Appling County, Glenn County, and further southward in toward the Georgia-Florida border. Meanwhile, it's been relatively quiet in the tropical Atlantic Ocean, but right now we're seeing a little bit of a activity flare up well off the upper coast of southeastern portions of the United States, moving away into the sea. Could become Dexter, and also computer models are hinting at more activity beginning to show signs of development in the tropical Atlantic Ocean and off the coast of Africa. And it's becoming that time of the year where we're going to start seeing more and more development in those regions. So we're going to have to start looking carefully in the tropical Atlantic Ocean, and I'm going to do that in just a moment. But first of all, let's see how much rain did fall across our area. And it was quite a bit. Here we have it in the last 72 hours. So this was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, ending at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. And it shows quite a bit of rain, of 2 to 3 inches of rain across central portions of Georgia. Not so much in the greater Statesboro area, but more so in the eastern portions of southeastern South Carolina and eastern Georgia, and also in the central portions of the South Carolina area. A closer view of this shows that the rain was considerable across the eastern portions of Bryan County, southeastern portions of Chatham County, and into central and northern Beaufort County from the rains over the past several days. 3 to 4 inches of rain common across this area. Yesterday, 3 to 3.5 inches in several locations in the Savannah area. I had here on the south side of Savannah 6 and 2/3 of an inch of rain in the 2-day period from Friday afternoon through Saturday night. Now, the conditions from the Community Collaborative Rain, Hail, Snow Network shows rain totals from the observers. And you could be an observer to this. All you have to do is sign up and get the rain gauge that they require, which is a 4-inch diameter rain gauge, and you can report these values from your home garden as well. But anyway, look at some of these values midway. This is just a 24-hour period from 7 a.m. Saturday to 7 a.m. Sunday, and it shows 3 to 5 inches of rain in the Midway, Liberty County area. Over around Fort McAllister, almost 4 inches of rain there, 1.76 in Richmond Hill. Then Savannah, 2 to 3 inches of rain common across the central and southern portions of the county and the city, where considerable flooding was indicated yesterday late afternoon into early evening in the southern and central portions of Savannah. And then not so much on the islands, except over in Wilmington Island to Leahy Islands, about 1.5 to 2 inches of rain there. Not so much in the Beaufort County area, southern Beaufort County area, and extreme eastern Jasper County, except as you get off to the north, approaching the Broad River, 4.12 inches of rain east of Ridgeland, and about the same on the other side of the river. Then you get into the northern portions of Beaufort County. Look at these reports. 2 to 4 inches of rain, even 5 inches of rain across the northern portions of Beaufort County associated with those rains from yesterday. Right now, a radar summary is showing not so much rain in those areas, but the rain is now further to the south over in the southern counties of Georgia. Some of that's going to be working its way to the north. We could see some showers tonight, but nothing like what we saw throughout the day yesterday. And looking at the rain further to the south, this is as of 5:30 on Sunday afternoon. Considerable amounts of rain falling in the Glenn County area, where they're seeing 2 to 2.5 inches of rain in a very short period of time associated with that front that passed through our area yesterday. And aren't those temperatures nice, in the low to middle 80s instead of upper 90s and lower 100s? But there's the front right there, and that's where the rain is and the thunderstorms are falling right now. Looking at the rain totals so far for today in this area, over in the Brunswick area, over around the Sea Island, just north of Sea Island, rainfall totals have been averaging over 7 inches in some locations. In the city of Brunswick, north side of Brunswick, anywhere from 5 to 6.5 inches of rain already falling out in that region there. And over in Darien, about 4, a little bit over 4 inches of rain. Up around Shellman Bluff, over 5 to 6 inches of rain, up to 7 inches in some locations there, also just to the north of Eulonia. So some very heavy rains were falling across portions of southeastern Georgia. Now, that continues to drift off to the north. Meanwhile, in the tropical Atlantic Ocean, looking at the conditions from the National Hurricane Center, there's that system off the coast of the upper portions of the southeast United States moving out to sea. It could develop into a system, could become Dexter over the next 24 to 36 hours before it's engulfed into a frontal system in the central Atlantic Ocean. Another area trying to develop off the coast of southeastern Georgia and southeast portions of South Carolina, but it's showing a low probability of development. I'm not too concerned about that. And once again, it looks like that system will be moving toward the northwest, so we keep an eye on that. But there's a bigger area out in the central Atlantic Ocean, tropical Atlantic Ocean, has about a 40% probability of development. Let's take a look at the computer models, and this is the ECMWF, the European Center for Medium Range Weather Forecast, and let's put this into motion. And not too much going on yet out in this area here. There's the other regions that we're watching in the Atlantic Ocean and off the upper coast of southeast United States. And putting the motion, you see those systems moving away. And that system off the coast, well off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina, is not really showing any signs of development. But we're beginning to see waves forming over here in the central tropical Atlantic Ocean and drifting off to the west, northwest, and then turning to the north according to this model here. And then other waves continuing to move off the coast of Africa, and those have the potential for development as well. Looking at the sea surface temperatures out in this area, this is very important because the warmer the water, the higher the fuel content for tropical systems to develop. And anything above 25 degrees Celsius is breeding grounds for tropical storms. And again, anything above 28, 29 degrees Celsius is very warm and very potent conditions for the development of hurricanes. And here you can see in the tropical Atlantic Ocean, those temperatures are 29, 28 degrees Celsius. And then you get into the Gulf. Over here in the Northern Caribbean Sea and the Gulf, we're seeing those temperatures in the low 30s, 31 degrees. So that's equal to what? 31 degrees, that's 88 degrees Fahrenheit. The coastal water temperatures off Georgia and South Carolina over the last couple of days before the rains came were in the upper 80s there as well. Now we're seeing runoffs from the rivers cooling the shelf or coastal water temperatures beginning to drop a little bit, but still very warm water. So it means very high energy levels associated with the potential. So any storms that do develop, there's a plentiful supply of fuel for them to work with. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And looking at the tropical Atlantic Ocean and the names of the storms this year, Dexter is next on the list, followed by Aaron. Anyway, not showing too much yet. We're seeing those little waves in the Atlantic Ocean and off the coast of Africa. There's that wave that could develop into Dexter right over there, but this wave over here not showing that much development. And then if we go further to the east, over into the European model, the European satellite imagery showing the continent of Africa, we're seeing tropical waves and waves in the intertropical convergence zone or on the tropical equator regions of Africa, showing more waves developing and progressing westward toward the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's take a look at the forecast for the next several days. And again, temperatures are much cooler than what they have been. So we're going to be back in the, we're in the 80s now. We're going to stay in the 80s for tomorrow as well. And then flirting with 90, upper 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're going to see temperatures relatively below the normal for this time of year. Normal high is 92, normal low is 73. And each and every day there's going to be a chance, high probability, 80 to 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and they'll be more scattered than what we saw on Friday and Saturday. And looking ahead for the next 6 weeks, the outlook is calling for actually temperatures to be slightly above the normal, but normal high now is in the lower 90s to around 90 by the middle portion of August. And precipitation above normal all of this week, and then back to around normal for the several weeks thereafter. So keeping an eye on the tropics. That's the big news right now because, usually after August 15th, which is what, 2 weeks away or a little less than 2 weeks away, it's when things really begin to start ramping up in the tropical Atlantic Ocean, with September being the peak of the hurricane season. And then it doesn't end there. It goes through the month of October and even through the month of November. But the biggest concern usually is between August 15th and about October 20th, when we see the worst of the hurricane season with the strongest possible storms, usually during that time period. So I'll be keeping an eye on that and the rest of the weather. And thanks to all those who have been supporting my page. I appreciate it. Join my channel. It helps me to keep this channel up and running, and my website as well keeps it up and running. So with that being said, I'm going to go out and enjoy the cooler temperatures in the heavenly backyard garden. But until then, I'll see you. Bye.